Dear learners of Standard 7, it's a very good morning and welcome back to my today's online class. Hopefully, you are safe and sound at home by the blessings of Almighty Allah. Today, I will discuss with you about the satellites. Previously, I had discussed about the planets. Now, I am going to discuss with you the satellites. So, our today's topic is satellites, and you are observing here the two types of satellites, natural satellite and artificial satellite. And follow the natural satellite, the image of the moon here given, and the artificial satellite follow the different types of shape of the satellite which are made by the men and sent to the outer space. So, you have known that the planets of the solar system revolves around the sun, and similarly the small satellite revolves around the planet, that is the satellite. So, our today's topic is the satellites. So, follow the satellite. What is satellite? The objects that revolve around the planets are called the satellite. So, here different types of satellites also, one by one we will know. The objects that revolve around the planets are called satellites. You know the objects that revolve around the sun or the stars, that is the planet. So, a smaller body orbiting the larger one, usually a planet, is called a satellite. So, follow the image, that is the smaller one object that orbiting a large one body, that is the earth. So, it is the satellite, and always you remember that the satellite must be smaller than the planet. So, the smaller body always orbiting the larger one, usually a planet, is called the satellite. A celestial body orbiting around a planet or star, the earth is a satellite of the sun. The satellites are smaller than the planets. So, in geography we can say, we know you are already well known about the heavenly bodies of the solar system. So, here just as example we see that the earth is the satellite of the sun and the moon is the satellite of the earth. So, previously I have told you about the satellite. There are two types of satellite, the natural satellite and the artificial satellite. Now, follow the types of satellites. A natural satellite is an object that orbits a planet or other body larger than itself and which is not man-made. That is, the moon is a natural satellite of our earth. And follow the image here, follow the sun. If we consider these three objects according to the size, follow the sun is larger than the earth and the moon is smaller than the earth. So, we can say the earth is a satellite of the sun and the moon is a satellite of the earth. So, from here we are observing that is the smaller one object always revolving around the larger one body. Okay. So, here the natural satellite, the earth's only natural satellite is the moon. Then here an artificial satellite is an object that people have made and launched into orbit using rockets, isn't it? So, here about the artificial satellite, what we know, the objects that are sent by men to the outer space to revolve around the earth for getting different types of information of the outer space is called the artificial satellite, and according to the task carried out by the artificial satellite, they are named as the commercial satellite, communication satellite, weather satellite, earth observation satellite, military satellite. In higher class you will know about these different types of satellites, and these different set of satellites serve different purposes. About the natural satellite, some questions we will know now, that is why does the moon shine with its own light? Dear learners, you know the moon is the only natural satellite of the earth and it moves around the earth. So the satellites are smaller than the planets, and the moon cannot produce heat and light. They get light from where? From the sun, and the light of the sun reflects on the surface of the moon. So we see the moon lighted. So the moon does not shine with its own light. It simply reflects light coming from the sun. And we know the planet and satellite both have not their own heat and light. They are getting the light from the different types of stars of the galaxy. Why don't we see the far side of the moon? Follow the image. This is the near side of the moon and this one is the far side of the moon. So why don't we see the far side of the moon? The moon rotates one important thing, that is, the astronomical objects or the moon or the planet or earth, that is, they are rotating on its own axis and as well as revolving around the larger body, isn't it? So the moon rotates one time around its own axis as it makes one revolution around the earth. So rotate means ghurnon and revolution poribhromon. So rotating on its own axis, taking the time, and revolution poribhromon around the earth, and it also take the time. But one thing, that is, it finishes a rotation at the same time it finishes a revolution period of the rotation. So the fact is that what period of rotation equal to period of revolution. What time it takes? The 28 Earth days. Usually it is written in one book, that is the 27 days and 8 hours. So approximately 28 days. So here important fact, that is, the moon does not rotate and revolve at the same speed. So speed are different and their speed, as their speed different, so the period of rotation and period of revolution are same. So now we will know, that is the new moon and full moon. That is, the moon is the most attractive object from very ancient time, and most of the time we see the moon at night in our overhead sky, isn't it? So you see that the moon is not seen in one night, which is called the day of moon or dark night, we say. That is the day of the new moon. In Bengali it is known as Amavasya, and the full moon is the lighted part, that is the Purnima. So the phase of the moon, where that is you see that the moon is not seen in one night, which is called the day of new moon, and the next night a small piece of moon is seen for a while in western sky. A small piece of moon gradually gets bigger every night, and after the 2 weeks the moon looks like a plate, which is called the full moon. So the phase of the moon is gradually increasing from the new moon night to come in the full moon night. So the moon begins to get smaller from the next night of the full moon. Again the opposite side, if we consider, the moon begins to get smaller from the next night of the full moon. Thus after 2 weeks in any night the moon is not seen at all. So we can see the new moon and the full moon after every 29 or 30 days. So here this is the phase of the moon when it looks absolutely full and complete in its shape. It is known as the full moon. And on the other hand, the phase of the moon when you cannot see the moon in the sky, for that matter, is called the new moon. This is one common phase of the moon, and you learnt in standard 5. That is what the considering this black portion, it is the new moon, which night that is and one night which is not seen at all. Then the position, you see the crescent position, that is 1/3 portion is the black part and 3rd quarter part is this one portion. Then gibbous portion is the just follow 1/3 portion is the white portion, and it is gradually increasing. The part is getting light gradually day by day, and after that we can come to the position. Here follow this again follow the crescent position here, then first quarter position, then give us then the full moon position. So this is this phenomena. We can see the new moon and full moon after every 29 or 30 days. So what is the difference between the new moon and the full moon? Here in this image you are observing, this is the sun and this one is the earth, and the new moon position here, this is the new moon position of the moon on new moon night, and this is the full moon position. Full moon, this one, that is the moon just fully taken the position just opposite side of the earth. So the basic difference follow, the new moon occurs when the moon is located between the earth and the sun. So it makes the hindrance. The position is the middle. This is earth and this is the sun, the middle position, and the full moon is when we are able to see the entire illuminated portion of the moon. So the full moon phase occurs when the moon is on the opposite of the earth from the sun. There is no blockade or the hindrance. So full moon night will be the lighted and enlightened part, and new moon it will be dark. So now about the artificial satellite, and beforehand I have told you an artificial body placed in orbit round the earth or moon or another planet in order to collect information or for communication. So more than 2500 satellites sent by men are moving around the earth. So satellites are the two types, artificial satellite and natural satellite. I had discussed just natural satellite, and artificial satellite, you know, there are different types of artificial satellite, okay, weather satellite, communication satellite, global positional system, astronomical satellite. There are also military satellite, navigation satellite, earth observing satellite, etc., etc. So do you know about our Bangabandhu satellite, which is sent to the outer space from our country? We are feeling proud when we see these satellites in the outer space. So the Bangabandhu satellite 1, some information you should know. The Bangabandhu satellite 1, that is Bangabandhu 1, is the first Bangladeshi geostationary communication and broadcasting satellite. It is named after the father of the nation, who? Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and it was manufactured by Thales Alenia Space and launched on 12 May 2018. The satellite was the first payload launched by a SpaceX Falcon 9 Block 5 rocket. What are the benefits of Bangabandhu satellite? The major part of the benefits of Bangabandhu is expected to be that dedicated telecommunication services on unexpected natural catalysm. That is, during the unexpected natural disasters, telecommunication services are likely to get off. So during occurring the different types of natural disasters, we know the telecommunication services are likely to get off. So during that time, at that time, with the Bangladeshi Bangabandhu satellite, the nation is expected to craft such travel. So dear learners, up to this today about these satellites, you have to learn and you have to read. Thank you all. Stay safe and stay blessed at your home.